Thank you so much, band. Welcome, everyone. Good morning. I want to congratulate you all on braving the freezing temps this morning and dressing in layers appropriate for church. Yesterday morning, when it was sunny and about 20 degrees warmer, I ventured out to the Arcata Farmers Market, and it was a great day to be there because it was wall-to-wall booths. Bree was there, which is always a highlight for me. There were just a lot of people outdoors being joyous, dancing, having a great time, enjoying some good food. And this thing happened that I wanted to share with you because it really was so cool. So you know how sometimes when you're at the grocery store and there's a little kid in front of you in line or behind, and they have the gimmies, right? Like they see all the candy, they see all of the treats, and they're like, Dad, buy me this, buy me this. Well, so we were kind of headed to the inside of the square, and this little kid is right behind us, and I hear, Daddy. And the next thing she says is, can I have some money to donate? Right? And so anyway, I was like, man, I love Humboldt County, right? So anyway, I had never heard that before. I thought it was great. She was maybe 4 or 5. It was very cool. So I wanted to share that with you. So here at the Eureka Center for Spiritual Living, we start every service with our gathering with an acknowledgement of the native lands that we are on. And I was talking to Judy this morning, who just got back from a gathering of her tribe up in Washington State. And she said what the native peoples do is that they stop for a moment before they say ho at the end of the acknowledgement. So I'd like to invite you today to pause briefly when we do this before we do the ho at the end. I get it right? Thank you. Yeah. All right. So the Eureka Center for Spiritual Living acknowledges that the land on which we gather is the ancestral territory of the Wiyot peoples. This territory extends to the communities throughout most of Humboldt County, and we honor the Wiyot peoples today. Ho. Thank you. That was great. All right, so let's start things off with a song this morning. Donna?
Thank you, Anna. That was a nice warm-up. I'm stepping out into a world of possibility. I'm stepping out into a whole new way to live. So much waiting for me, path is clear before me. I've got so much that I have yet to give. I'm stepping out into integrity. I'm stepping out, releasing every fear and doubt. Road just keeps on turning. At every turn I'm learning what this life is all about. I'm stepping out. I'm stepping out.
Thanks so much, Donna. All right. So let's start with our opening affirmation. And at the end, you can either say this or you can turn to somebody and say, I'm so glad you're here. So the first part together, we are a welcoming community where the vibration of love lifts us, the wisdom of the ages inspires us, and the science of mind teaching empowers us. Class, please settle, please settle. They never should have given me that thing. I think we can agree on that. So here are the announcements for this week. We have a lot going on, right? So there are many opportunities to get together and do different things this week. The first one that is going on is something that is going on this evening that we have been announcing for a little while, and that is the both virtual aspects and in-person aspects of the Ernest Holm birthday party for this evening. We haven't had a sign up for this, and Reverend Angelica is interested to know how many people are planning on coming this evening. Because if people aren't planning on coming this evening, then we'll just make sure everybody has the link and that they can watch it from home tonight. So are there people who are planning on coming this evening in person? Bree? Okay. I wasn't sure. Yeah, Angelica, is that helpful? Did you see the hands? Do you need them up again? Yeah. Oh, wait, a few more went up. 8 at least? Yeah. Do you want to spend time with us, I think is what we're really asking. Yeah. So anyway, and we had this planned as a potluck dinner. Do you want people to still bring things to eat? Okay, sounds good. So it's starting at 5 p.m. tonight. And the international organization is doing some fun things that we'll sit together and watch together. So anyway, please join us. And this would be his 139th birthday. And you got to look at his expression on this slide. It's just great. He's like, I'm cutting cake. Anyway. On this Tuesday night, Maria is hosting on Zoom Yoga Nidra at 7 p.m. As we've talked about before, this is something that you do from home. She's coming up right now to tell you more about it.
Hello, everybody. So last week I talked about how Yoga Nidra can help you with regulating your nervous system so that your well-being will be increased. Today I'm going to talk about the koshas. How many people here are familiar with the koshas from the Upanishads? So the koshas are the 5 levels of human experience. It starts with the physical body, which is the most tangible body, moves to the energetic body, which is pranayama, made of prana. Then the mental layer, which involves the function of the mind that relates to our individual interpretation, our view of the world. Then we have awareness, which moves towards being able to witness things and remain detached. And then the last is nirvana. Now, each one of these levels, you can have discord or harmony. So as you can see with the mental layer, you could be caught in an anxiety loop, and that would be discord. Yoga Nidra works with all of these aspects of ourselves. And you will notice that as we're going through it. We'll work on breathing, we'll work on body awareness, we'll work on, we do opposites, which helps with detachment. There's a number of things that we work on, and each one of these, starting with the body, is a bridge to the next. And so this is another thing that Yoga Nidra helps with. So if you're interested, come on, on Tuesday, come on, hop into bed, have your phone with you so that you can lie there and listen to Yoga Nidra. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Marie. Anna, do you want to come up?
What do I know? I'll bring the ham, you bring the bread. Okay, this Wednesday from 1 to 3, we're having our Get It Together event, which is if you have a project that requires a large table and you've been putting it off for more than 10 years, this is the day. I suggest you bring your own little bag for trash. We could probably fill up the trash can, at least I can. So I'm going to bring my own trash and take it home and do it with it there. I'm bringing a whole bunch of manila envelopes in case I don't get all this work done. I can sort things and have them labeled. At least I've gotten that far. I think I could do 3 or 4 more of these Get It Together days before I finish my project. So I hope you'll all come, and we're just going to give everybody 1 table each, unless we get too many people and there's room to share. We have, well, that's cool, I guess. Whatever it is. Yeah, get it together, people. We'll see you Wednesday at 1 o'clock.
Thanks, Anna. So that's on this Wednesday from 1 to 3. All right, so we're having a gratefulness gathering. David, you want to come on up?
Hi, everybody. I've been coming here off and on for several years, and glad to be here because Angelica invited me to talk about this gratefulness gathering. I've been a volunteer for an organization called Grateful Living for 7-8 years now, basically hosting a monthly gathering where people come together to just discuss certain topics to help us live more gratefully. Since the pandemic, I've been doing it online, but then I recently thought, why not try to get an in-person group started here? So we will meet for about an hour and a half this Saturday, and basically we introduce a theme for the month. This month's theme, I believe, is on the role of ritual in our lives. Next month, it's going to be about dealing with uncertainty. Other recent themes include seeking simplicity, connecting with nature, crossing thresholds, so just big things like that. And if you want an idea of the kind of questions that we ask and we discuss, go on the gratefulness.org website and look for their daily question. I think the question for today is around what have I learned about myself in challenging times. So that's the sort of questions that we'll throw about and talk about. It's a great way to sort of have meaningful conversations and make friends, and I hope you'll join us. And if you have any questions, seek me out, or just go on the Gratefulness website if you like what they're about. Join us. Thank you.
Thank you so much, David. It is in person. Yeah, that's a great question, Ari. It's in person on Saturday here at the center. All right, so next month in February, we're having our annual gathering. This is going to be on the 15th. Lunch will be provided after the gathering, and if you want to vote, you have to sign up to be a member before the 15th. We'll also hear reports on the state of the center and vote for new council members. All right, so practitioners who are here today, I see Susan and Edward, Michelle, and Reverend Angelica. So after the service, if you'd like to learn more about what it is that we believe, or if you need support, please seek one of them out. Our little pantry is open to receiving donations. Thank you to those of you who have stepped up to fill up the little pantry in the front while Lori is unable to do it.
So Catherine has an idea of what we need right now.
Oh, okay, where's Catherine? There you are, yay. Yeah, I was like, I don't see where you were sitting, sorry about that. Uh-huh.
Yeah, right now we could use some soup.
Soup?
I'm not much taller.
You and me both, sister, yeah.
We could use some soup, some milk, some cereal for the mornings, like oatmeal, instant oatmeal, or whatever, instant, something easy for breakfast.
Not in big packages, in individual servings.
Okay, so I'm going to repeat what you said so it's on the microphone. So she said milk, instant cereal like oatmeal for the morning, things that are in individual packages, and soup as well.
Soup, we need some potato, we've got macaroni and cheese, and we've got ramen. Anything else like spaghetti noodles or anything that can be stretched would be good.
All right.
Yeah, the pantry's pretty much empty, so we really need your help.
Okay, so she said the pantry's pretty much empty. We have ramen and we have, what was the other thing? Macaroni and cheese, thank you. But other things that can be stretched, like spaghetti noodles, I don't think physically stretched, but could last longer. Anyway, yeah, things that can last longer, that would be great. So when you go to the store, if you can get a few things for the pantry, that would be great. And Pop-Top cans are always a great thing for the pantry. All right, so here's our theme for the month. We're winding this month down. It's living in the new now. All right, Donna?
I invite you to relax into your seat. Into my heart, into my heart, come into my heart, sweet Spirit, come in today, come in to stay, come into my heart, sweet Spirit, into my heart, into my heart, come into my heart, sweet Spirit, come in today, come in to stay, come into my heart, sweet Spirit. I was, but
She caught me off guard. Angelica's talk today is how to use it, which basically comes down to it's done unto you as you believe. I found a reading from an old 1991, Dare to Be Yourself by Alan Cohen. So I'm going to share that. And then after that is done, I have a short quote by Somerset Maugham that I thought. So if you just settle into your chairs, and after the reading, there'll be a minute of silence, and then Jackson will play us into the opening prayer. Sometimes we need to stand up and declare what we want in a bold way. The universe does not need you to tell it what you need, but you need to believe in yourself enough to ask for it with conviction. If you want to get what you want, you have to tell the truth about what you want. We reach a certain point on our path where we cannot compromise, minimize, or deny our heart's desire. It is not humble to ask for less than you believe you deserve. It is arrogance. False humility is a ploy of the ego. When we act smaller than God created us to be, we deny the grandeur with which we are imbued. True humility is to become an open vessel into which the riches of the universe may be poured and then overflowed to a waiting world. The riches to which I refer are exuberance, delight, vision, and a life with heart. If you are not receiving all of these, as well as the material things you desire, you must stretch to tell a bigger truth about what you really want. Then turn your request over to the universe. If your request is right for you, you shall have it. If it is not right for you, believe me, you don't want it. In such a case, you can thank God for giving you what you really want instead of what you thought you wanted. Our job is to ask and then allow God to answer in a way that is in harmony with our best interests. And from Somerset Maugham. It's a funny thing about life. Those who are willing to settle for less than the best usually get it.
when we are
We are one, and we live in that unity. We live in that truth. And as we step out boldly to be who we are really meant to be, as we step out with heart, with love, with grace, with exuberance, we are the best that the universe has embedded in us. And so we allow this to expand, and this community supports that and supports all of us in our ways of finding out how and what we can be and do to not only better ourselves, to raise ourselves up, but to raise our communities, our world. And so with love in our hearts, we reach out to those, knowing that we are one. We are all one. And the truth of our being is that we are love. And so I know this gathering comes together in love and in unity. And so I simply let it be, because it is good, and so it is.
And in that unity we can live in harmony and peace will come. For we are one.
Thank you, Jackson. And now I'd like to welcome Angelica to the podium.
All right. Well, good morning, everyone. You all look good. And Zoomers, I know that you look good too. Yeah, I sort of thought about that. Maybe next time we have a guest speaker, I might stay home and be in my jammies and watch it. I've been looking at, talking about jammies and things, reminds me, I've been looking at these beds that are done by this company called Nectar, where you can push a button and the back of it raises up, or under your knees raises up, and it's like, I want one of those. Yeah.
Eject button.
What?
Hit the
Eject button, yeah. Well, the cats would do that. They wouldn't let me stay in bed for too long in the mornings. So we're on chapter 4, the last chapter of the prologue, so to speak, to that huge book called The Science of Mind that we use as our textbook. And you know, when I was thinking about this chapter and the chapters that we've already done, I thought about the fact that many of us as children, like I spoke about last week, were taught that God is out there. Somewhere distant, somewhere above us, somewhere sitting on a cloud or something like that. And prayer, as we learned it as youngsters, was more like pleading. You know, please God, don't let this happen to me, or please God, you know, whatever. Or it could be bargaining, whatever. But we're always hoping, at least I was when I was in Catholic school, just always hoping that I said it right, so that the universe, so that God would hear me and pay attention. And then we get into the science of mind, and we hear something that is radical to our point of view that we had before. And that is, God is a law, and we don't beg the law, we work with it. God is a law. And we can work with it. And we learn that spirit is present, it's dependable, it's responsive, it works through principle. And this is when our faith begins to mature. And do you know that somebody said to me the other day, I was talking to them about having been a minister for 40 years, which I still can't believe. But, that, shit, I don't remember where I was going with that. 40 years. I know what it was. That we think that we've got it, oh, wow, I've taken first year and second year or whatever, and I've got it. And then this whole new space opens up again, where it's like, oh, okay, let's move upwards along this evolutionary spiral, whatever. And every time we think we've got it, a whole new area opens up. And so I've been doing this for 40 years, and then I teach a beginning class, and it's like, oh, wow, I get new ideas about it. And so that thing about our faith maturing is that it never stops. It never stops. And what I realized as well just recently is belief all by itself doesn't really do much. There has to be some activity with it. And this sentence came to me that said, practice is where spirit becomes personal. Practice is where spirit becomes personal. What does that mean? To me, it means that I do my meditation, my daily meditation. I do spiritual mind treatments. And I've been, ever since the beginning of this year, where I've been talking about how important it is to do spiritual mind treatments, I have done a lot. Not just for me, not just for our country, but for people. I mean, I've had one of my Canadian people call me for treatment, and a couple of my Hawaiian people called me for treatment. It's like, wow, what's going on? The energy in the universe is so strange right now. So back to chapter 4. This is what Holmes, I believe, is teaching us. He's not asking us to become better believers. He's inviting us to become conscious participants in this life. He reminds us that principle is always operating, the law is always responding, and it must be consciously used. The law is always responding is a very important statement, because if I'm going, oh, poor me, I don't have enough money, whatever it is you might be poor meing about, and the universe goes, yes, my darling, and gives you even more of that. Until finally we break through and we say, wait just a minute, this is what I want, something different. And then it says, yes, my darling. So we talked a week or so ago, maybe 2 weeks, about electricity. So we know that the electricity exists in our homes or in the buildings, etc. We know that we have to flip the switch. So to me, this is such a great analogy for the truth working for us when we work it. We have to work it. Dr. Holmes says it this way in chapter 4. The thing itself, for those of you who need page numbers, it's on page 37. The thing itself then works for us, through us, and is us, always. It cannot work for us in any other way. It spreads itself over the whole universe and shouts at us from every angle, but it can become power to us only when we recognize it as power. Only when we recognize it as power. So when I read that again yesterday, what came to me was that truth doesn't work around us. It doesn't work for us from the outside like we might have thought when we were younger and learned that God is up there. It works through us all the time because it is us. I mean, the master teacher Jesus said, if you've seen me, you've seen the Father or God. I can say that too. If you've seen me, you've seen the goddess. Right? Because that energy is working in us. It is our life force. It's a life force in absolutely everything, which means to me that recognition really matters. And this is the first step in treatment, recognition. Right? The very first thing you do when you do a treatment is recognize that all there is the divine. All there is this law which is working perfectly for us according to our beliefs. It's always operating, and it becomes power in our lives when we consciously acknowledge that, when we align with it, and when we participate in it. And that made me think that, you know what? This teaching is about relationship. It really is. It's about relationship with the divine. Relationship with our own self, first and foremost, and then relationship with everything else, because there isn't anything that isn't that energy made manifest, that divine energy. So using the law doesn't mean that we control everything, or that we never struggle, or that we failed spiritually if something painful happens to us. Using the law does not mean we control outcomes. It means we choose how we show up within them. And this matters because there are people that are navigating illness and grief and aging and uncertainty, and there's people that are really confused about the chaos of the world right now. This teaching is never meant for us to blame ourselves or anyone else for what is happening, but to empower us on how to meet what is happening, how to work with it. So I learned this a long time ago, and in a rather humbling way. I'm a new minister. I had started the church on the Big Island. It was during the AIDS years, and one of my men came to me and said that his partner had been diagnosed with AIDS, and he was terrified. He was terrified that if he didn't have it already, he was going to get it. And so I did what I was trained to do. I immediately went into treatment about it. And I thought, I mean, I didn't think anything about it. I just went into treatment. Later on, he told me that he had spoken with another minister, and that this minister first acknowledged what he was going through, the fear, the shock, the uncertainty. And only then was he able to receive the treatment that she gave him. And I thought, wow, truth doesn't bypass our humanity. It enters through it. This is part of how we use this teaching wisely. And I love this phrase I'm going to use. We let presence, with a capital P, come before practice. You have to really get what you believe about God now. And I know some of you don't like the word God, but hey, at one point in my life I didn't either, so I decided it meant give on demand. And now it just means it's a short form of the force or spirit or divine mind, or, there's so many names that we can call it. But what I realized as I was thinking about this idea of letting presence come before practice, and remember, presence is acknowledged in the very first part of our treatment. We've learned this, I don't think I got it like I got it yesterday. So we let presence come before our practice. So Holmes didn't teach that suffering equaled failure. He taught that consciousness is the creative medium and that our work is alignment with it, to align ourselves with it. And so I came up with 3 ways we use the law. 1, we begin with acceptance. We don't go like we might have when we were kids and go, please, God, please do this for me. We don't beg, we don't plead, we declare. And we don't try to convince God. We align with what already is. If I'm treating for my health, I'm not going to beg to be healthy. I'm going to know that who I am really is healthy. That powerful presence within me is not sick. I've done something to feel the effects of being sick, but that's not my real truth. So, we're not trying to persuade it. In other words, we begin with acceptance, not pleading. The second one is we choose thoughts that cooperate with life. And guess what? They don't have to be perfect thoughts. They don't have to be forced thoughts. We don't have to force ourselves to be positive in the midst of stuff. Simply thoughts that lean in the direction of wholeness. Spirit is going to lean with us into whatever we choose, always. My third one is we practice, especially when nothing seems to change. So to me, practice is returning and returning, choosing again, listening again. And our relationship with the divine deepens through repetition. It's sort of easy for me now, after all these years, to know that if I speak my word and I'm really bring the power of the divine in with it consciously, then it's going to work. But if I'm wondering or wishing and hoping, it probably won't work. So, as we learn how to use this teaching, and we're always learning, you're never going to stop learning. You're going to, in fact, I invite you to open yourself up to allowing your experiences to teach you something. Those of you who get my Friday message saw that I drove up Walnut the other day and Cutton Schools, the elementary school I live next door to. Actually, I live next door to their bus barn in the back, but it says that this week, starting today, is Kindness Week. And the first thing that happened to me was I started thinking about Kindness Week. Now, how do 3rd through 6th graders think about, or 5th graders, whatever they are, think about kindness? What would they think of? So I'm making up all these little stories in my mind as I'm driving home, which isn't very far from there. And then I realized, wait a minute, this is what we need to do right now. We need to get into a place where we actively and consciously project and participate in kindness. There's too much cruelty happening in our world right now. I find myself going down the rabbit hole every day because of what's going on. I can't believe that there's now been 2 people killed in Minnesota through no fault of their own. And then listen and read the stories that come out of Washington, D.C. that are totally erroneous. I mean, I just don't understand this, how one can watch something. How do they watch the videos that we're seeing and say, oh no, that's not what happened, this happened? What did you say?
Propaganda.
Yeah. It's crazy. But what I know is that if we allow ourselves, so the last thing I want to say then is we have to stop begging a distant God and begin working with a present one. We stop asking, why isn't this working, and ask ourselves, how can I participate more consciously right now? Again, I'm going to tell you, this teaching is not about mastery. It's about relationship. Relationship with the divine. And relationship takes practice. Those of you who are in relationship know that you constantly have to practice. And that practice could be daily and it can be imperfect, but it has to be sincere. Sincere practice. That's how truth becomes lived. This is how you use this teaching. You recognize that all there is the divine. You realize how it works through us as us. You allow it to do so consciously. Consciously. And if you go unconscious like I do when I hear the news, take a breath and allow yourself to think on good things. Think on good things. So I'm going to do something a little different instead of a treatment this morning because of my, because I think it's necessary. But you can still play music. I want you to close your eyes. We're going to do a guided visualization. Take a deep breath. And as you let it out, let your shoulders lower. Let your heart be opened. And take another breath. And allow yourself to go to that place within. Maybe it's your heart. Maybe it's just something you think about in your mind. But I want you to imagine that what you are right now is a fountain of kindness. And maybe you can even imagine yourself as one of those beautiful fountains that you see in the pictures in Europe, with those large areas where the water spills into and the water spilling out or spraying up or whatever. But imagine that you're a fountain of kindness. And let the area that the kindness flows into be the United States. In particular, Washington, D.C. And you know, kindness includes love, an unconditional love. So let part of that kindness that you're fountaining be love. Let it be loving. And as you're allowing yourself to fountain this kindness, recognize that it is a divine energy that you're fountaining. And feel that energy just moving everywhere. Feel it moving into the hearts and the minds of absolutely every person in this country. Feel the universe sharing itself in ways that we probably can't even imagine. Don't make yourself think that this particular thing or that particular thing has to happen. Just be loving kindness. One of the greatest examples I've seen recently is those monks walking consciously, moving forward, bringing out hundreds and hundreds of people to see them as they walk by. They're walking for peace. So we fountain peace. And in that peace is love and kindness and consideration and compassion. So whatever mental pictures you have for that, or whether it's just thoughts, allow yourself to dwell on them for a moment. And maybe because we are practicing the presence in this teaching, we allow ourselves to do this a little bit every day. This is Kindness Week, according to Cut and School. So let's play with them and know the highest and best for everyone around us, everyone in our country, everyone on our planet, and for the planet itself. And we're so grateful that we can do this. We're so grateful that we have this teaching. We're so grateful that we don't have to spend our lives being sad or angry. Love rules. And we're grateful for that. So let yourself come back into your body. And whatever agreement you want to make with yourself about how you're going to spread kindness, let yourself do that consciously. And then take a deep breath. And when you're ready, open your eyes. And I thank you for playing in the realms of the divine with me. And our music this morning is Edward. So let's give him a hand. Thank you.
I decided to brave this almost impossible instrument right here. It's a wind synth for those that don't know. Oh, sorry. It's a wind synthesizer for those who don't know. All the controls are under my thumb, so if I move my thumb in any direction, it changes what the instrument does, much to my consternation. I wanted to do something special. I had messaged Reverend Angelica about a week or two ago. I, like so many of you, watch the news for once, and I was really, really, really depressed by what's going on. I mean, Adolf Hitler's version of Nazi Germany has now become the pattern for the reshaping of America. And Americans are sitting by and letting it happen. They're giving up democracy. I've had people fight in the war to protect our rights, our democracy, and die in my family, and it's hurtful. But anyway, to get around that depression, I started thinking of milestones, good things. And I realized that this year is a special year in my life and in my family's life. It's been 1986 when I found this organized philosophy and joined it. So that's 40 years that I've been a member of the religious science community, or now the Centers for Spiritual Living, which is when Angelica became a minister. It's been, let's see, I wrote it down so I wouldn't forget. My sister's birthday today, my little sister. Happy birthday, Sherry. My wife's birthday was 2 days ago.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, sweetheart. And it's been 7 years now since I brought her here to this country, exactly 7 years. And it's been exactly 7 years ago that we got married. So our anniversary is this month. And it was 7 years ago that I fought and won my first battle with cancer. And during that time, I had a chance to write a book, so I did. And I'm going to read something, and I'm directing this to my wife, but also I'm directing it to Louise because it was her birthday this month as well. But this is special for my wife because I wrote it for her, and hopefully I can get through it. And she told me that I have to play her favorite song. You know, I wasn't going to play that, but, you know, I want to go home, so. Okay, so anyway, this is from my first book. It's called I Walk with an Angel by the Sea. I walked with an angel by the sea who came to earth to uplift me, to raise my mind from dark and gloom and make me leave my tiny room. Then as we walked, she watched my eyes change from hopeless to surprise. And I could hear her in my head, all life is blessed. She smiled and said, from worlds beyond this earthly sky, to seas beneath which wonders lie, in the face of those who care for you, who live in their boxes and struggle too. But through it all, they take your call and still make plenty time for you. I walked with an angel by the sea who saw great beauty in a tree. She found a man She found a man who had lost all hope and taught him how to love and cope. She brought back music to my heart and showed me her creative art. We talked for hours about our spirit. Then she took me to where my soul could hear it. I walked with an angel by the sea and kissed her as she clung to me. This angel who has saved my life is now my angel, my mate, my wife. Thank you. I can't get through that. Now let's see if I can make this work. Nope, not it. There's 300 different sounds in this thing. Okay, that'll work. Yes.
Yep.
Now if I can get this. Okay, what happened? Oh, crap.
Maybe
I
get
know.
play it solo.
This can't be happening to, yeah, I guess it could.
Can you solo it?
Yeah, I guess I could. I think Trump didn't like what I said about him. Oh, maybe it's, yeah, it could be a chord. Okay, well, anyway, I guess there's no accompaniment. So, here it is. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Edward. All right, so if you'll join me in reading this before we share our gifts. I gratefully give from the fullness of my abundance, knowing my gift blesses this center, all in it and beyond, and so it is. So presence, spirit, I accept these gifts on behalf of our center. I acknowledge the gratitude on which they were given today, and I know that they will bless this place and our community, and so it is. Thank you both. All right, so is there someone who would be willing to come up and read our community statement of inclusion? Anyone? Anyone? Catherine, come on up.
We, the Eureka Center for Spiritual Living, are a community that celebrates diversity, fosters inclusion, champions inner work, and creates space for brave, vulnerable conversations. We are a community that honors the unique emanation of God that each person embodies and advocates with people for human rights and dignity for all. We are a community that blesses each other, sees sacredness in all life, remains learners and listeners so we may grow together, and understand that oneness is not sameness. We know our beloved community is revealed more fully when we love each other well. And so it is.
Please stand and join a circle. If you're not familiar with the words to the peace song, it's better if you stay on the southwest corner of the room and you can see the screen. Get a geography lesson today. Maybe stretch out a little past Ari back there. Yes, darling. Oh, thank you. Ah, here we go. Yes, there is peace on earth, and yes, it begins with me. Yes,
is my joyous vow. Take each moment, live each moment in peace eternally. Yes, there is peace on earth, and yes, it begins with me. Thank you.
Looks like there's a lot of cash in them. Oh, go for it.
Is this hope? Yep. I just want to announce to people that I have brought some things from my refrigerator that's perishable. There's some onions and there's some yams, and so please take them home so I don't have to put them in the compost.